So at some point, almost every Massachusetts homeowner quietly asks the same question. Is staying here still worth it? Not because they hate it here, not because something is wrong, but because the cost, the pace, and the lifestyle start to feel a little different than they used to. And that question doesn't show up all at once. It shows up in little tiny pieces after another winter, another tax bill, another year of juggling work and family and everything else. If you follow our content, you know we spend a lot of time talking about why people choose to move to Massachusetts. The towns, the schools, the lifestyle, the coast, the mountains, everything. But today I want to flip the script and talk about the other side of that decision, why some people are choosing to move out of Massachusetts. Because understanding why people leave and why they decide to leave often brings more clarity than any sales pitch ever could. And real quick, if you like this kind of honest, real-world breakdown, this is exactly the type of content we focus on here, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. No hype, no pressure, just how people actually make decisions about where they want to leave. So where do we start? Career shifts and flexibility. Massachusetts has a strong economy, healthcare, education, biotech, regular tech, all of it. And even with that, people still move for work. Sometimes it's a promotion that's based elsewhere. Sometimes it's a company relocation. And more often, it's remote work quietly changing the rules, even today. When your job becomes flexible, your location becomes a choice. And that's a big shift because suddenly people start asking questions that they never had to ask before, like, do I need to live this close to Boston? Do I need this much house cost if my commute doesn't matter anymore? For some people, the answer is still yes. But for others, that flexibility is starting to open doors that they didn't have before. Next, lifestyle changes and family pull. This one's deeply personal. Some people truly love Massachusetts and still decide they want to be closer to family, have more space, live at a slower pace, or experience a different day-to-day rhythm. And what's important here is this. Most of these moves are not emotional reactions. They're thoughtful decisions. What we hear most often is, this isn't about leaving something bad. It's about moving towards something that fits us better right now. That could mean different priorities, different stages of life, or simply realizing that what worked 10 years ago isn't always going to work forever. Next is an obvious one, the long-term weight of winter. Winter here isn't a season. I say it all the time, it's a commitment. Even if you like winter, it comes with a real cost and effort. Heating bills, snow removal, vehicle wear and tear, shorter days. It gets dark sometimes at 4 o'clock, and the general mental load that comes with all of it. And for a lot of people, it's just not winter that does that. It's the accumulation. After 20 or 30 winters, some people just say, I've done this, and I don't need to do it anymore. What are my options? And that realization alone can trigger bigger conversations about where they want to be longer term. Another really obvious one is the cost of living and the housing reality of Massachusetts. This is the biggest reason that I've seen by far. Massachusetts can be an incredible place to live, and it's expensive. Not just home prices, but taxes and insurance and utilities and contractors and childcare, everything adds up. What's interesting is how often people say the same thing. I love my town. I love my neighbors. I love the community. I'm just not sure that the cost still makes sense for us anymore. And that's not a complaint. It's a calculation, that it's a critical distinction. People start looking at what they're paying and what they're getting and what the same money might look somewhere else. And that starts to open up ideas and bring options into their mind. That question alone, does this still make sense, starts a lot of thoughtful conversations. So now let's flip it, because despite all of that, people still choose to live in Massachusetts every single day. Number one, our communities and towns. Massachusetts is built around towns, real communities with identity and history and pride. Local centers, small businesses, libraries, seasonal events, people feel connected here in a way that's really hard to replicate. And often people don't fully appreciate that until they're living somewhere without it. Next, education and long-term opportunity. Schools, universities, and the culture around education remain a major draw, and they will for a long time. Many people move here thinking 10 or 20 years ahead, not just about today. It's not just about academics, it's about opportunity, exposure, and access. Next is our proximity to everything. One underrated benefit of living here is how much is within reach. From the coast to mountains to lakes and cities and major airports and all the great food, Massachusetts is a hub. You don't have to choose one lifestyle. You can blend your work, travel, nature, and your community in a way that's genuinely hard to find anywhere else. Again, character and sense of place. And this one surprises people. Many people choose Massachusetts because it has a feel, a history, architecture, seasons, character, and pride in place. Older homes with stories, towns with deep roots, a sense that where you live actually means something. It feels grounded. And for a lot of people, that matters more than they expect and more than they realize when they decide to live here. So whether you're thinking about staying, leaving, or simply trying to understand your options better, the decision is rarely about just one thing. It's about life and timing and priorities and what matters most to you right now and maybe a few years down the road.